I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolutions end up being wishes, things that sometimes never come true. Now, I'm not saying that they're all bad, but most of the time they end up not happening or not coming true. So there's a few things that I do instead that I've learned from books and podcasts and all sorts of material that I consume over the years. Number one, set a vision. Sometimes you don't even know what you want to do or what you want to accomplish. So it's really good to find inspiration in other people. So look for someone that you want to emulate or a business that you want to emulate. Once you found that person, then it's time to try to figure out how they got there and what steps they took to get there. That can be as easy as potentially reaching out to them or finding a like-minded person that you could ask questions to, or just, find information on the internet, ask ChatGPT. Once you've done a little research and found out some information, then it's time to try to understand what steps they took to get to that position. What standards did they set for themselves to achieve those goals or get to where they eventually got? And what I've realized over time is this isn't rocket science. These people have really just set the table to get to where they want to go. Once you set some standards, then you can actually take those action items and create a plan of attack for the year or the next 3 years so that you can kind of see if you've achieved those stages in order to get to that ultimate long-term goal. Now, there's no question there's going to be some challenges. There's going to be some pitfalls. You're going to fall down. You're going to want to quit. People might say that you're crazy. All those things are going to happen, but that's okay. If you hang on to that goal, that vision, that dream, and you keep pursuing it, it will become a reality. And I've experienced it firsthand. To give an example, about 3 years ago, I started with just a small thought of making it to the CrossFit Games. So I did some Google research and I figured out, who in my age group is made to the games? Who are the top 5 athletes? I ended up finding a gentleman by the name of Jason Grubb. I just reached out to him. He had his profile up on his website and sent him a message and asked him if he'd be willing to share some information, and that's how it started. So I asked him a ton of questions, tried to figure out how he actually got to that point, and realized that there was a lot of things that I was doing that weren't allowing me to get to that next level. I wasn't training the right way. I wasn't training enough. I wasn't eating the right things. I wasn't sleeping. So I realized I had to set some standards. So I did a couple things and just changed habits. Some of the changes I set didn't come easy. Some of the standards that I had were maybe too high initially, and I had to pull back a little bit. Over time, I was able to layer them in and get to where I eventually wanted to go, which is making the CrossFit Games. That's just one example, but I could use a business example or other financial goals that I've had, that I followed the same blueprint and achieved the goal that I wanted to achieve. Again, they're not resolutions. They're standards that you set for yourself. And that makes it a little bit easier to live by them because you just change your rules, change your mindset. And believe me, one day you wake up and you've achieved that goal or that vision that you thought was so far away. So what standards are you going to set for yourself to achieve the goals and dreams that you want to achieve?